2016 is what I would call a year of stagnation. I recorded the Let's Play for Sonic 1 8-Bit in January. I had beaten the game the previous month and I was like, hey, I can Let's Play this now. So I recorded it, but that's around the time that my grandma's computer started experiencing some trouble with crashing. So that playthrough eventually wouldn't get uploaded until like nearly 2 years later, but that's kind of interesting that I had the footage waiting around for so long. At some point during the year, I think it was in the summer, I started writing Sonic and Mario Extra. I wanted some additional material before episode 36 came out, so I was like, why don't I do like sort of episodic skit series where I kind of like make fun of the show, and that's what Sonic and Mario Extra is supposed to be. It still hasn't come out. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I do have a lot of the material that I need to make the first episode, but this is when I started writing it. In October, I also started writing Sonic 3 and Knuckles a Machinima parody. I had been planning on doing a Let's Play of Sonic 3 and Knuckles just about as soon as I ended my LP for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but I think I had watched Cybershell's Let's Play of Sonic 2 like just before writing the Machinima parody, and I was like, you know what, I like these skits that Cybershell's doing at the end of the parts of Sonic 2, so I went ahead and did my own kind of variant on that I would put at the end of every part of Sonic's run in 3 and Knuckles. I'll talk more about it in the 2018 segment, but this is when I started writing Sonic 3 and Knuckles a Machinima parody. Also in October, the Sonic Song 182 channel returned, and I quickly got back into contact with KN, telling her that yes, I would like to return to the channel and voice my characters. This also served as my return to voice acting, because even though I had made that big deal, like ever since episode 35 of Sonic and Mario, I hadn't done anything as far as voice acting is concerned, and I finally returned in the Thanksgiving special for Sonic Chefs. That was a good time recording all my lines as big, and you know, he was like struggling with the caramels and all that. It was a wonderful recording process, but I have had quite a good time with Sonic Song 182 since the return. I'll talk about that more later, but you know, it felt really good to get back into contact with KN and start voicing in her videos again. And it definitely felt good to actually like do sessions with her, like where she's directing me in person. That was a new experience for me, and a really fun one as well. Earlier in the year, I had joined Rage Play Comms, but the first playthrough that I did with them didn't come until like the very tail end of the year, with part 1 of, once again, Sonic 1. A lot of firsts as far as commentary is concerned with Sonic 1 for me. Rage Play Comms is it's a wild group of guys, but I had liked a lot of the videos that they had done before, and I contacted them at the beginning of the year, like I said. I don't think I got a response until about the summer, but I had like a good conversation with the guys as like a bit of an initiation, I suppose, and they got me in for the Sonic 1 playthrough where I was like the only person who was defending Sonic 1 as a good game. That felt kind of awkward, but I'm very appreciative of the opportunity that RPC gave me for recording game commentary when I wasn't really able to do so otherwise. And I've got to appreciate them for what I personally consider to be my greatest moment in game commentary ever.
I thought you guys were at least a semi-professional commentary group.
Yeah, we're not.
I mean, that's not true, but...
You serious?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for what, standing there?
Then finally in December, the era of updates came to an end. My brother offered to edit a couple videos for me that I had scripted, and I was like, hey, thanks man. So on Christmas Day, I released a video called Thank You Super Nintendo, which was like a commemoration of what had happened 15 years earlier. I got the Super Nintendo as a Christmas gift, and that's the day that I consider myself to have become a gamer. So I made that video in commemoration of that 15 years of gaming. And then on December 31st, I released my first sprite video since the 35th episode of Sonic and Mario, which was 50 Shades of Blue, which I intended to make as a commemoration for Sonic's 25th anniversary, and I was pretty late on that. I definitely wanted it to be out by the end of 2016, So I remember my brother and I were rushing to get the video out so that it would make sense to release as a 25th anniversary Sonic thing. Shots fired, Sega. But that was a fun video to record. I did all the frames in like 2 days. It wasn't all that hard of a process because, I was just changing colors pretty much. But that was one that we were in a rush, but it was a good invigorating rush, I would say, to end the year. It felt good to have a video of substance on my channel again after so long. I would describe 2017 as a year of revitalization for my channel because I started doing stuff more regularly. That started in March because I was actually hanging out at my grandma's house due to a very widespread power outage that was going on that affected my own place. And I had heard that the problems that my grandma's computer was having weren't a thing anymore. So as a test, I remember I re-rendered part 6 of my Sonic 2 LP and it worked. So I was like, oh shit, I can make videos on my grandma's computer again. So that was a good way to start the year because it meant that I could make videos again, and I would do that soon enough. The first video after realizing I could make them on my grandma's computer again was actually one that I had wanted to do for years. It was about a character on the Sonic Song 182 channel, the first character actually that I voiced, the Frog Prince, who for whatever reason I just absolutely love this character, and I wanted to do a video about his origin story because he's just kind of some background character in the proper channel. So I decided to try and give him a little more. So I came up with headcanon for him, and that video came out on May 8th. KN retweeted it on Twitter, and it got a fairly positive response. That was a pretty fun video to make. KN actually took a few original pictures just for this video. I only asked her for one, and then she came back with 4 of them, and they were all really good. And I was like, man, KN, you're a sweetheart. But yeah, headcanon about the Frog Prince. That was the first video that I made after I realized that I could come back, and it was a good video, I think, to come back on. Another first for the channel came on May 13th with my first review. It was a review of the 2017 Power Rangers film, which I had seen a month earlier, and I had tried to get the review out faster, but there were some things holding it back. I was inspired more by Classic Game Room to do this review instead of the more comedic reviews that float around on the internet. I wanted it to be a little more journalistic and objective than that, but I still threw in some jokes in there like this one. I wasn't really a fan of the more mature jokes that they put in there and thought that a couple of things were forced, like, hey, did you know this is a PG-13 movie? For example, there's a focus shot of a bull's penis, and in one of Rita's scenes her outfit shows a lot of boob. So I guess for any bull penis enthusiasts or boob lovers out there, this movie has something for you. But again, I had fun making it, and I thought that it would be an interesting thing to start doing reviews and other such things. This was the first installment of the My Thoughts series. I've only made a few videos in this series, but they've allowed me to go into some stuff that I think is interesting, and I hope that you guys find them interesting as well. After having written a few episodes quite a few months prior, I formally announced Sonic and Mario Extra on May 27th. I originally wanted it to come out in June of that year, but quickly realized that that wasn't going to be happening. I still intend to make it, but Sonic and Mario Extra was announced on May 27th, 2017. Again, it more so serves to poke fun at stuff from the main series, and yeah, so hopefully that comes out pretty soon. Legit don't know when, but don't worry, it's coming. In June, I met my next big YouTube buddy, Lyrical Miracle 9608, who voices Amy Rose, Blaze, Cream, Rouge, and Princess Peach for me. Really talented actor, very nice singer, got a very upbeat personality, definitely a good talent to have, and I'm very glad to have met him. For Sonic's 26th anniversary, I released my top 10 Sonic characters video, which, again, I'm going to say it was a fun video to make. I don't know if anyone was really wondering who I liked as my favorites, but I thought that I was going to catch a little bit of criticism for some of my choices, like Eggman at number 9, or Amy Rose at number 2. I'm sorry, that's just the way that things go. I hope you guys aren't mad over that. But just a nice little commemoration for the series anniversary, and again, had fun making it. I need to stop saying that. One change that happened over the summer was that my full screen contract expired on June 30th, and I joined a new MCN called Freedom on July 4th, which I thought at the time was very appropriate. This would go on to kinda haunt me later, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. At some point in July, I started writing Amiya's Best Anime at the behest of a few members of the Team 182 Discord server. A few months prior, there was a new meme in the Sonic Song 182 fandom that was created.
So I'm gonna say that Amiya is my favorite anime too.
Yeah, so you were very helpful, Mr. Big.
That's not how anime works, Big.
Amiya's best anime.
It would take me a while to get this video out, but that's when I started writing it, was in the summer of 2017. And I once again have you guys to thank for it, so yeah. I'll get more into Amiya's Best Anime later, but this is around the time I started writing it. In July, I quickly wrote and released YouTube Friendly Skit. This was made in response to a policy change that YouTube made which fucked over a lot of channels. Some justifiably, but a lot of them were really unjust. Like, I remember all wrestling content for a while was like banned from the partner program for whatever fucking reason. It was really stupid. In this video, I wanted to sort of demonstrate that. So, YouTube Friendly Skit was released in July as a response to some goings-on at YouTube. Here's something that was quickly forgotten. In August, I announced that full Let's Plays were going to be going on Super Chaos Comms and that I was only going to do highlights on my channel. That obviously didn't stand. I don't quite know why I decided to try and do that. I haven't even made a single highlight video for anything that I've done, so, you know, it's kind of a good thing that I didn't remember this plan that I had. But I also announced that I was going to do Nintendo LPs, but I wasn't going to do them on my channel. I was going to do them on Super Chaos Comms, which I still fully intend to do. I really saw no reason to not do Nintendo games, but because of various things, I'm going to be doing it on Super Chaos Comms instead. So, yeah. Sorry I haven't gotten any Nintendo LPs done yet. On August 12th, I announced that I had rewritten episode 36 of Sonic & Mario again, and this time it was to start a storyline that would go through a very short Season 5. I had been frustrated with being unable to do episode 36 because I needed some files from my old computer, and I was like, what can I do to make it so that that's not necessary? And so I just came up with this idea really quick, and I intended on getting it done by the end of the year. That didn't happen, and it didn't happen for another little while, but I was free of the restriction of needing my old computer to do it, and I'm quite glad that I did rewrite it this way. So remember me mentioning that I went to a new YouTube network? Well, in September, there was a weird, stupid thing that went on that, it was like they dropped me and accepted me back into the network like 3 days in a row and never clearly explained why. So after the third time, I was just like, you know what, screw this. And so I decided to partner strictly with Google, and that would remain for the rest of the time that my channel was monetized. If I had any advice, it would be to be careful when selecting what network you might want to go with, but it is probably a better idea to just stick with Google if you're going to be partnering your account. Another retrospective of mine, Remembering Star Fox Adventures, was released to celebrate the game's 15th anniversary. I absolutely love the fucking shit out of this game. It is a beautiful game, and I just, oh man, I love it to death. I won't bore you guys with another long rant about it. If you're interested in hearing, please go watch the video. But I just had a great time remembering all the stuff that my family and I recalled from my brother's original playthrough of the game. It was great. It was fun. Again, I know I said I should stop saying that, but it really was. I'm sorry. The next Sprite skit that was released was Shadow's Confusion. That came out on October 18th. This one was written in the summer, so it took me a few months to get out, but I definitely had a grand time doing it. Black Doom's voice, though, fucking killed my throat. Something that I like doing is writing in bits of scripts where I have Rabbit improvise something, and I absolutely knew that the guy who gets shot by Shadow needed to be voiced by Rabid, so I just had like Scream here or something. And man, Rabid does like the greatest screams of all time, and this one didn't disappoint.
Kill that guy.
Fine.
Oh God, I'm dying! Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm done.
Shadow's Confusion was a fun, neat little parody of the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and who knows, maybe more might be coming. In October, my family and I were preparing to move again, this time to an apartment, and my little brother stepped aside with me and said that I could have a desktop computer that he bought but hadn't used, and I was like blown away by that. It was a very generous offer that he made to me, and of course I accepted it because, you know, I like making videos, and it would definitely help me to not have to go to my grandma's house to make videos. So I pretty much owe this whole ramped up production thing to my little brother, and I can't thank him enough for being generous enough to give me this desktop computer. It's a really nice computer. It does have a few quirks here and there that I don't really like, but hey, I mean, I'm not gonna bitch and moan about him just giving this to me for free when he didn't have to. So it was set up and ready to be used on the 28th, and I made my last video on my grandma's computer on the 24th to announce this whole thing, and it definitely worked out for me. December was an incredibly productive month. It was definitely a benefit to get that computer when I did. I released 17 videos over the course of 29 days, which started on the 2nd with Robotnik's Revenge Time Attack, and that's where I sort of said that I was going to be changing the format for my ROM hack LPs. Still haven't gotten to any new ones after the Christmas one, but, you know, that's still in the works. I just need to figure out what I'm going to be doing next. The next video after that was the Angel Island Monkey Dude Pacifist Run skit. Rabbit and I just kind of came up with that one on the fly, and it was sort of like the first exposure of our Monkey Dude in-joke. Years ago, I watched Cybershell's Sonic 3 LP, and he made a bit about like, hey, this badnik's actually called Monkey Dude, and I don't know why, I just loved it so much, and I told Rabbits like, man, this guy's named Monkey Dude, and we just thought that it was absolutely perfect. So it sort of came up in the public eye for the first time with this Monkey Dude Pacifist run where I failed at the very last Monkey Dude in the stage, and it was a silly video that I had a grand old time making. Another response to recent happenings was how net neutrality ended. Much like many people, I disagreed with this piece of legislation, and it was another video that I threw together really quickly. And then the next Sprite skit was on December 23rd. That was when dubs get preachy, where half of the video was voiced in Japanese. In that video, like, I knew that I wasn't going to get accurate translations out of Google Translate, so I put in, like, silly nonsense sentences. Like, the only one that I can remember off the top of my head was, Sonic, you have the fence of a great cheese. Stuff like that. I know I had a good time voicing my characters in Japanese, but, Ames and Rabid, they kind of struggled.
Vocal photo, Sochi, Hato, Sonic no artist, or Akush. No! God, why? Why would you do this to me, Skull?
I fucking hate you for doing this, by the way.
This video was made as another parody. Like, Funimation had changed a couple scripts for a couple of their shows, and it was really old news by the time that I made this video, but I wasn't really all for that they changed scripts to just put in like a political message when that just wasn't there in the original Japanese versions. The only changes that I feel should be in anime scripts are like ones that retain the original story and intentions of the creators. So I thought that was kind of a disrespectful move on Funimation's part, to be perfectly honest, and I wanted to illustrate that in this video. So finally, after nearly 2 years, I released the Sonic 1 8-bit Let's Play. This was a quick one that I got out over a few days. Took a bit of a Christmas break, but I'll talk about that in a little moment. In my return to commentary, I took it pretty chill. I remember after the Christmas break, I had a good time describing how my Christmas was and everything like that. So it's a fairly chill Let's Play. I actually kind of find it funny how I named Part 2 Ak, because I hadn't met Symph yet, but that's something I'll get into when I talk about meeting Symph in the next segment. Again, Sonic 1 8-bit LP was pretty chill, and I quite liked doing it. So for Christmas that year, I released 2 videos. The first was a simple reading of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. That was an idea that I had a few years prior, but just didn't do. I changed like one line, I think, but you know, it still like kept the original intention and whatnot, unlike you, Funimation. And the second one was another Sonic hack video about the hack, how Eggman stole Christmas. I forget what it's called, but I wanted to do another hack originally for it, but apparently that was like a limited release, and so I couldn't find any version of it online. But how Eggman Stole Christmas was still a fun video to do. I had a good time describing like Sonic-related Christmas things, and I really like celebrating the holiday season, and I was glad to do that on YouTube for you guys. On December 30th, I released Let's Look at Sonic Live, which was a review of one of the stories in the Sonic Live Archie special. I wrote it right after Archie canceled the Sonic the Hedgehog comic, which I still personally believe that Ken Penders was the major contributing factor towards, because the fallout from that whole situation just crippled the potential of writing stories for the comic, and I've got to imagine, like I said in the video, that Archie and Sega were just done with all the headaches that it brought them. I had to record this over many days, actually, all the voiceover, because I was doing every single point individually, and that was a bit of a process. But aside from that, it was a pretty nice video to edit. I think my favorite thing about it is the copyright Ken Penders running gag. That one caught a little bit of traction with the people who watch my videos, and I'm glad that they liked it. And then on the very last day of the year, December 31st, New Year's Eve 2017, I released another sprite skit called Sonic and Amy's Crazy Date. This one I used to sort of parody my old videos, like the text over picture slideshows and the Speakonia sprite videos. Another one that I had written over the summer, and one that I was actually kind of surprised that I was able to get out at the end of the year, because it was really looking like I wouldn't be able to do it until like a few days before it came out. So I was very happy to have something for the last day of the year. Once again, second year in a row. Might do it intentionally for this year, who knows. But Sonic and Amy's Crazy Date was another nice, silly little video that I'm personally pretty happy with. Now, I know I was kind of going out of order, but the last thing that I would like to talk about for 2017 was actually my debut on the Sonic Song 182 Fun Fridays series, the December 15th edition to be exact. I had been wanting to get on the live stream ever since KN started doing them, and we weren't able to for quite some time due to technical issues. But once I got my own computer, things looked pretty set, and it was a really fun time doing all that, and I was surprised by the response that I got. A lot of people subscribed to me on that day. I think I gained 25 subscribers or so, and fans started watching my videos, and I was again, just really flattered by the generosity shown by you guys. Definitely the highlight for me, though, of that stream was when KN and I did Team Rocket's speech as Jesse and James.
Jesse!
James.
Team Rocket blasts off at the speed of light.
Surrender now or prepare to fight. Me out, that's right.
It was definitely a grand time talking to you guys on stream with KN, and that would open the door not only for future appearances on the Sonic Song 182 stream, but streams of my own, which I would start in the next year. 2018 is what I would consider the best year yet on my channel, and that's without hyperbole or trying to hype myself up or anything. I legitimately believe this to be my best personal year on YouTube. After a busy December, I started things off with my Car Ranger LP on January 9th. That one was a good one to do. I had a fun time playing the game. It was only my 4th time beating it, I think, but it's a fun little game. I definitely recommend anyone who might be interested in beat-em-up platformers to try it out. It served as a few firsts as well. It was the first game that I played that wasn't released on any Sega console. It was my first and maybe only Japanese exclusive game, and it was also the first game that I had recorded with OBS. My settings on OBS weren't quite finalized yet, but as like a test playthrough of sorts, I think this one came out pretty well. In January, I met another close personal friend of mine, the Arbiter of Ak, Simbifalu, Symph Simpington, Symphonic Labyrinth. So, Symph is a really sweet, fun, cool lady. We actually became friends over a conversation about the weather, believe it or not. I found out that she lives in Ohio because we were both having very similar weather around the time, and I was like, hey, do you live in Michigan? Because we're getting like the exact same weather. And she was like, no, I'm in Ohio. And we were like, best friends for life. No, but she's been a great friend to me in the short time that we've known each other. Very deeply caring about her buddies. Again, a fun person to talk to. And I just can't appreciate her companionship enough. She does her own streams, which are fun to watch. And Symph, I love you. You're a cool lady, even if you are an OSU fan. So on January 16th, YouTube announced that they were making changes to the partner program, and they were going to remove anyone that didn't have 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 views, or 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 12 months. This meant that my channel had to go, and I wasn't very happy about that, much like a lot of people who got booted out of the program. In response, I made a stupid, fucking angry, reactionary video that I really regret and eventually made private because it just came off as immature and whatnot. Like, I still disagree with the decision that they made, but I really wish that I had made my response more tongue-in-cheek like a social impact video was.
And now, a social impact video.
Hi, I'm skull902, and I'm here to talk about an important social issue, because that's obviously what everyone wants to hear from a comedy YouTuber. In the end, I'll just say, I understand 10,000 lifetime views, I understand 1,000 subscribers, but I still do think that 4,000 hours of watch time in the previous year was really pushing it. But, you know, it's just another goal to work towards, and I soon got over it because I knew that I had the capability to work my way back up to those thresholds. With OBS, I started streaming on January 17th with a test stream that I co-hosted with Rabid. We played the first 3 zones of Sonic 3 just as a bit of a test. That video didn't stay up, but the next 2 test streams that I did on January 20th and 21st did stay up. I did those with Symph, and I realized that she had a natural knack for hosting things, which I think kind of encouraged her to do her own live streams. Could be completely wrong about that. Symph, please let me know. And after that, the first proper live stream was held on January 31st. I have a fun time live streaming games and having talks with anyone who watches. A lot of crazy stuff has happened. Oh yeah, I'm Tails. I can fly up here.
Don't get crushed.
And he swims too, just like in Sonic 3. Lol. Oh, I got crushed.
Semen.
Jesus Christ!
Now
Get
I'm in
him.
a labyrinth boss with no rings.
God damn it.
Oh man. I believe in you!
Didn't die. What the fuck?
What?
You'll see it.
Okay.
That was bullshit. I beat the level.
Oh my god!
What?
Rabbit,
Yeah.
this was necessary. I'm sorry. I love you!
Did you point? You're gonna point the gun down. Look at him shoot the ground in angst before he shoots his best friend.
No! Me!
And just think, all of this could have been prevented if he had just held it in his bladder for a little longer.
F12.
No. Hear me out. I think that there can be both a Skull Phonic fanfic and a Skull X Pizza fanfic.
Yeah, it's called a harem fic.
Oh my god. There you go, I bet you're hungry after... Do not throw your food!
My question is, why is it that her ass explodes on impact?
Well,
Because she's thick as fuck!
But anytime that I press that start streaming button in OBS, I just have a grand old time, and I really appreciate that anyone does show up to watch me play a video game very shittily. Speaking of me shittily playing video games, I started 3 LPs in the month of January. Those were Tails in Sonic 1, Knuckles in Sonic 2, and Sonic Chaos. For Tails in Sonic 1 and Knuckles in Sonic 2, these were actually going to be exclusive to a site called VidMe, which unfortunately kicked the bucket a month before. So I decided, just kind of like as an apology for my original Sonic 1 and 2 LPs, that I was going to do those ones. I do believe that I did better, but as you could no doubt tell by my shittily playing video games remark, I still believe that I have some improvements to make to not only my gameplay, but my commentary and whatnot. But, you know, I had a fun time making those. And Sonic Chaos is a very short game, so I was like, hey, I'll just do that too. These LPs would be delayed by quite a bit because I had other projects that I was worrying about, but for now, that's just when I started them. Sonic's predecessor was the first skit released this year on January 31st. I actually showed it on my stream that I did that day, but it wasn't like a premiere stream because I had had the video public for a couple hours before I did that stream, but first time I showed a video on stream. Anyway, it's a video that I think could be a bit better because, like, the spacing between the lines I think was a little too much, and I think that it definitely could have used some music, but I still like the idea that Sonic, like, runs into Alex Kidd and he's Alex Man now and all that stuff. It was a good time, and I definitely loved Rabbit's performance in it. The first marathon stream that I did was held on February 2nd. I did the Mini Ranger-thon, which was like almost 4 hours long, where I played Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Genesis, Car Ranger, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo, which at that point I had just recently beaten for the first time. I had a pretty good time hanging out with Symph and Rabbit that day, even if I did die to Mutitis way too many times. Knuckles is Lonely was the next Sprite skit that I had planned, but the production of that was stalled by a cold that I got, which was pretty nasty and took me out for like 9 or 10 days, which also affected the production of Amiya's Best Anime as well, but I'll get into that a little later. Thankfully, I did recover from said cold, and the short was released on February 16th. The idea for the skit came from my little brother, actually, because we were just having a random conversation the previous year, where he mentioned Knuckles being all by himself and hanging out with the Master Emerald that had, like, googly eyes glued onto it, and I thought that that was just too good to not make into a video, so I have my little brother to thank for brainstorming with me on that one. That was the first video that I showed in a premiere stream, which again was held on February 16th. It was after the Sonic Song 182 live stream. I had KN and Musical Sushi on as guests, and I played through Sonic Classic Heroes because I saw the skit as a Team Sonic skit, and that's a Team Sonic game, unless of course you're playing as the Chaotix. But that was another really fun time. I think a hashtag like Get Skull to 1,000 subs or something got started, and I was really moved by that gesture. But much like in December, it was another really fun time hanging out with KN, and also Sushi was along for the ride as well. We had good conversations about like who our favorite Sonic characters were, and I kept screwing up my singing. But deep in my heart, I can't do it, I'm too nervous. It was an absolute blast. On February 20th, I was let go from the YouTube Partner Program, which ended a 2.5-year run with monetization on my channel. Like I said, I do believe myself to have the capacity to work my way back up to meeting the standards for YouTube Partnership, so if anyone who is watching this might have also been affected by that change, I just want to try to encourage you, you know. But it's not impossible to get back. Just work your hardest and believe, man. That's what you gotta do, is believe. Believe in yourself, and things will turn out alright. Another big milestone, I hit 1,000 subscribers on March 15th, and I decided to hold a stream impromptu in celebration of it. A nice look back with me and Rabbit on some videos that I made over my time as a YouTuber up to that point. Again, I just can't thank you guys for the support. I've got to imagine that sort of the drive that some people started contributed to the 1,000 subscribers, and I've got to give a special thanks to Josh, who actually became my 1,000 subscriber and recorded evidence of it as well. That was a joke that he made a long time ago, and I'm surprised that he remembered because I didn't, that he was going to look out for whenever my channel had 999 subs so that he could be the 1,000th one. So again, Josh, thank you for being number 1,000, and thank you to everyone else who has subscribed to my channel before and since this point. So the first official special event stream of mine was WrestleMania that I had in commemoration of this year's WrestleMania on April 7th. This was something that I wanted to get done for a little while, play some wrestling games on my channel for WrestleMania. I challenged Jazzy to like a wrestling trivia game in order to determine who the true Team 182 champion was, but he was just too scared of my challenge and decided to drop out. So I decided to have sort of a gauntlet thing going on with the games, and I got a 3-1 record in my challenges. Fucking Doink the Clown, though. I wanted to play some old games from my childhood that I haven't played in at least like 6 years, but ooh.
This game just immediately kicks you right in the balls and repeatedly slaps you in the face.
So aside from WWF Raw, that was a pretty fun night. It went by a lot faster than I thought it would too, but you know. Still a good time with Symph and Rabid. Love my buddies. You guys are just so awesome. Unfortunately, my third voice acting hiatus started in April, which really affected the production of Amiya's Best Anime. I don't even know what happened. I was just talking to Rabbit and Josh on Skype or Discord or something, and my throat again just started feeling the same way that it had a few years prior. That it just felt weird, and my throat felt very compressed and whatnot. I just wasn't able to do my voices. Thankfully, it didn't affect me for a year and a half. It was only 3 months, but still a scary time. Much like December, May became an incredibly productive month for me. It started off with the conclusions of Tails in Sonic 1, Knuckles in Sonic 2, and Sonic Chaos. I got a major boost of inspiration from Clement's anniversary video. Kinda like this one. I don't know what it is, it's just that like whenever I go on a voice acting hiatus, I just get a huge drive to do video game commentary, and Clement's video really helped out with that. I just really wanted to do it because that was like the only thing that I could do, and I did quite a bit of it over the next couple of months. Speaking of Clement, I made the Son of a Bitch Eggman compilation as a tribute for his 10th anniversary. I had noticed that nobody did it before. Someone had made like the Egg montage before where the Eggman plush introduced all of the boss names or whatever, but no Son of a Bitch compilation, so I took it upon myself to do it. It took like the better part of a day to edit due to various things, but you know, it was all worth it. The skit Eggman Says Naughties came about from that video. I don't know why I came up with that name, I just wanted something really stupid sounding. I did all the filming actually before Rabbit did his voice acting, so it's got like a cheap sort of thing for the only part that I tried to do proper lip sync on, but that was a really neat thing to film. I did the Ultimate Flash Sonic LP on May 15th because it was a Flash game that I remembered from back in the day that I really enjoyed. I have some plans to do some more old Flash games, but don't quite know when those plans will come to fruition, but you know, definitely gonna look into some more stuff involving old Flash games that I can do. The Big Time Super Stream, which was named that simply because I was playing Big Story and Sonic Adventure DX, that came about on May 18th. I got KN, Ames, Miracle, Symph, Rabbit, and Toby Tots to be on stream, and that was a great time. Followed another appearance of mine on the Sonic Song stream. I remember KN had technical difficulties, and Toby and I had a conversation about jugs.
Zona. But like an entire jug.
What about jugs?
Jugs of Dr. Pepper?
I legitimately innocently asked that, by the way.
What about tots?
Oh,
Did you know that jugs are amazing?
Yes.
What?
They're great. Catch up with us, Civ. Jugs are great.
Jugs are pretty rad.
Talking about.
It was a great time. On May 22nd, I uploaded a trailer for my Sonic 3 and Knuckles LP, which I had alluded in previous updates to a special element to the 3 and Knuckles LP that I would be putting in, but the first time that anyone got a taste of it was with this trailer, which also served as the intro for a video that I would make later on. Between May 24th and June 24th, I uploaded at least one video or streamed every single day. This is easily the most productive period of time ever for me on YouTube, and I personally thought of it as a really big challenge, but also fun. During that time, most of the content that I was uploading was the Sonic 3 and K LP as Sonic, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo, and Sonic 3 and K as Knuckles. I remember for the Sonic 3 and K LP, I had tried to record it the previous summer and made a fuck ton of attempts, but I just personally wasn't very happy with the footage that I had decided on, so I was like, you know what, whenever I get my own computer, I'm gonna re-record it. So that time came in May, and again it was another period of, oh man, I hate this fucking recording, so I think between all the recording attempts that I made last year and this year for my 3 and K LP, that I had like 30 for the Sonic run. It was insane before I got one that I was actually really proud of. In the Sonic run, I didn't die a single time, which was actually a first for me. And on the very day that I had recorded it, there was another failed attempt where, again, I hadn't died up to the end of Launch Base Zone, and then, like, I got a very brief power outage, and that footage was just unusable after that. I wasn't very happy with that, but I was rewarded with my patience for a run as Sonic where I didn't die a single time, and that makes me very happy. For the Knuckles run, I also had quite a bit of luck. I died only 3 times, one of which was, unfortunately, via crushing. That's a sort of in-joke that Symph and I have about crushing. It's weird. Anyway, the Knuckles run was also fun, but I was definitely having a hard time coming up with stuff to talk about near the end. And then Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo was something that I would sprinkle in between a few parts of the 3 and Knuckles LPs as something to break up the monotony, I suppose. That was a game that I thought was pretty fun to do, except for the end because I didn't know about the hard strike that you could do in the Megazord levels. Man, that was really stupid of me, but still a fun time commentating over it. I just love doing game commentary, and having this much to do in that short amount of time, it was definitely tiring for me because I wasn't used to it, but I'm glad that I got that experience. So the special element in my Sonic 3 and Knuckles LP, specifically the Sonic run and the first part of the Knuckles run, was that after each part I would do a small machinima segment as like a parody of the level that I was going through. Those were all compiled into a video called Sonic 3 and Knuckles, a machinima parody, that was released on June 7th with a re-upload on the 20th. The reason why I re-uploaded it was because of the credits. I fucked up the credits a bit, so I went ahead and privatized the first video and quickly fixed up the credits and uploaded it a second time. But getting away from that, machinima is a type of filmmaking that I had really wanted to get into for a long time. I had been cast in a couple of Brawl machinimas that went nowhere, and like I was a big fan of Red vs. Blue in the late 2000s, so I just wanted to make one of my own. Up until that point, I had only been in a couple of machinima videos that Sonic Fiend had made, but I definitely wanted to try it out for myself, and since I also liked a machinima called the Sonic Tales, I figured that doing it for 3 and Knuckles would be a good idea. And I also took inspiration from the skits that Cybershell did for his Sonic 2 LP. It took me over 4 hours to edit the video because lip syncing is a bitch. But I'm actually really proud of how it turned out. I think it might just be the best composed video that I've ever made. So I'm glad that the dream finally came true, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. On June 10th, I uploaded a trailer for the Sonic Anniversary event that I was doing, and then on June 21st to 23rd, the streams took place, with a special conclusion video on June 24th. Even if things did get crazy at times...
Team Chaotic!
No.
We're the champions!
No, we're all... No, oh shit! Which Chaos Emerald are you?
I'm the green one.
Oh, she did it!
Ah.
couldn't resist.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't resist.
Guys,
I had
guys,
to do
what
it. I had to do
are
it.
you on the purple
Nobody
wall?
gave me the idea. I blame you.
What? What?
We got I Need a Hero bomb. And here we have Rouge driving the penis mobile.
Oh yeah.
Right in front of her is the shaft, and to the left and right are the testicles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tom, but that is a freaking penis.
What do you just like take me on a guided tour of what a penis looks like, or what?
Yeah.
It's another Sega game called Jet Set Radio Future, and like one of the songs that was licensed for the game was like censored for the game's release, right? Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. I'm glad that song killed you.
The thing that they censored out of the song was during an instrumental break. There was a creepy monotone female voice giving very detailed instructions on how to suck dick.
Cool.
That's
Love it. Stroke it.
Call it George.
So when are we gonna go on like a 5-minute rant about vaginas?
Can we?
Yeah, we totally can.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
they look amazing.
Yeah.
He was talking about like how ugly penises are in comparison.
Listen.
And his joke was like that God spent so much time crafting the vagina that when it came time to make the penis, he freaked out and just rolled some Play-Doh together.
It's true though.
Everyone make sure to turn up your speakers even louder so your parents can hear it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have you ever read synopsises of Cream Lemon songs?
I've only read the synopsis that's on top of the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, doesn't it sound amazing?
It sounds like the most fucking ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, well here, listen. In Cream Lemon, it...
I like how after that Knuckles was like, this isn't a joke, you know. I'll have you know I take my cream lemon very seriously, Rouge. Dear Takashi Izuka, can this be an official character trait for Knuckles?
Knuckles founded the Cream Lemon Fan Club, and he can recite every episode by heart. No, okay, Rouge, let's go make out, like episode 10 of Cream Lemon.
There's no time for games, but there is time for cream lemon.
So first it was vaginas and penises.
Well, now it's gone on to porn, so it's still thematic.
Yeah.
Saint knew it was immediately going to become this the second she left.
Yeah.
She was the innocent one in all of this. How old are your viewers again?
I really did have a good time doing this stream, and I've got to thank every single person who watched and who helped me out with the commentary and co-hosting and whatnot. You all made this event really special for me, and I'm glad that we were able to come together and make this happen. Definitely an undertaking. I was really nervous about doing all this streaming. It turned out to be like 23 hours within the space of 3 days, but I think that I was composed enough to make it work along with my friends, and again, it was just a really fantastic time. Day 3 in particular, where we were on for 12 hours. Holy fuck, man. That was a time and a half. I really enjoyed myself, and I can only hope that my co-hosts who were on the streams enjoyed themselves as well, because personally, to me, in my opinion, it was a fantastic event, and I'm just really glad with the way that came out. So after years and years of delay, 4 years, Sonic & Mario's 36th episode came out on June 26th, along with an anniversary stream for the series. Again, I'm really glad that I made the decision to release episode 36 like this. It was the first episode in HD, and I could entirely do it on this computer that I have here. And it gave me an opportunity to end the series in a slightly less rushed way. Got 4 episodes left, and I hope that anyone who has watched is excited to see what happens comes next for it. Again, I just had a really good time making this one, and to finally see the video come out after so long, it was great to me, and I hope that anyone who was waiting for all this time was satisfied with the results. So, a year in the making. The trailer for Amy is Best Anime came out on July 11th, and then the stream for it, Amy is Best Premiere, took place on July 27th. Again, following another appearance on the Sonic Song 182 stream, I had KN on for Amy is Best Premiere along with Symph and eventually Rabid. Again, another fun time. I played Amy in Sonic 1, which was a decent challenge because Amy actually plays like she does in the Sonic Advance games, and that makes you have to think a bit differently when you play this hack. And Amy's story in Sonic Adventure DX. Like I pointed out in the stream, I thought it was kind of funny to have KN and Rabbit on at the same time because KN brings out the best in me and Rabbit brings out the worst in me. But I think it made for a neat combination, a neat assembly of commentators for the event. And it really warmed my heart that so many people showed up. My personal stream record was set during that event, 95 viewers at one point. I had 95 viewers just watching me play a video game, and man, I just appreciate that so much. So many subscribers too. I think I had something like 70 subscribers that day, and God, you guys are just so nice. Man, I don't know how I could possibly thank you guys enough for all the support. Again, you guys are just the best. So the video itself, Amy is Best Anime, was made public during the stream. I had uploaded it like a couple hours beforehand. This one, again, a year in the making. I wrote the video a year prior, and then I intended to start like the actual production of it in February. That eventually did get done, but it had to be delayed a little bit due to that sickness that I had. There were a few troubling points during production, like I thought that I was going to have to cancel a scene, and that's actually why we have the beach scene and the apology scene that takes place before it. So I wrote a little bit in there at the beginning of March, I think. But things turned out quite well, actually. I like the way that the video came out. It was definitely the first time that I really played around with effects, like specifically during the transformation sequence, I think, because I was using like backgroundless pictures for my frames, and I was using like preset animations in Vegas to create those effects. Glad with how that came out. And I'd say that the video is about 95% the way that I wanted it to come out, so I'm very happy with that. And the response that I got during the stream when it was premiering was amazing. Like near the end where Amy was saying that nobody was satisfied, I had people like chiming in and saying that they were satisfied. And it was just like, man, that's really sweet of you guys. And then when the credits started rolling, and I saw people like putting in clap emojis and stuff, like, you guys really warmed my heart that day. And the video, by my standards, kind of like exploded. It got to 1,000 views on August 5th, which is my first video since 2014 to get over 1,000 views. So again, I just have to thank you guys once more for the love and support. My fans mean the world to me, and I am really appreciative that you guys found the video to be, you know, really good and worth the wait and everything. It was definitely something that I considered like one of my biggest, if not my absolute biggest project of this year. And again, it just really makes me happy that you guys enjoyed it. That's, at the end of the day, what I do is I make videos to make other people happy. And I'm glad that it seems like my mission was accomplished with this video. So, again, just thank you guys so much. That does it for this little retrospective. Once again, I do this for you guys, and I very much appreciate you sticking around to watch my videos and everything. This has just been incredible. Like, stuff like the hashtags that you guys make during the live streams, or nicknames like how Symph calls me Boss, or Papa Skull. I love that one. Fan art. I actually fucking have fan art. People have actually come to me with stuff that they made like specifically because they liked me, and I'm absolutely blown away by that anyone would like me enough to draw something for me for free. All the interaction that I have with you guys, as well as having the opportunity to, even if it is just like a very brief exchange of words, conversations with people that I either liked beforehand or would become a fan of them myself. People like Mega G Wolf, Guru Larry, GGD, Pat Mac, Shadow759, Courtney Project SNT. Like, I have been blessed with this opportunity by Monkey Dude to meet a lot of cool people. I've made a whole bunch of friendships, and I've had a lot of fun making videos for YouTube. This has just been an incredible ride. Where do we go next? I'm not certain, but I hope you guys are just as excited as I am to find out. Until then, I have been skull902. Hope you enjoyed my fucking long-ass ramblings. Have a wonderful day, and thank you.